yëpp.
la ma ca teg mooy.
mu ne lim ciy teg nag.
ngeen góorgóorlu.
na ngeen góorgóorlu nag.
seen pexe mii.
mu ne ndax pexe mii de.
pexe mu baax la.
mu ne pexe mu baax la.
bëgg sa réew.
bëgg sa réew.
bëgg sa dëkk.
bëgg sa dëkk.
bëgg sa kët.
bëgg sa kër.
mooy bëgg sa bopp.
mooy bëgg sa bopp rek.
nit dafa war a bëgg boppam.
mu ne ndax doomu aadama bi dafa war a bëgg boppam.
yéen doomi Panchang su ngeen demee ba xalaat ne da ngeen war a dekkal mbiri Panchang.
mu ne yéen xale Panchang yi bu ngeen demee yéen ndaw yi ba xalaat ne yéen da ngeen war a di suqali Panchang.
seen pexe moom pexe mu baax la.
mu ne danañ di leeral ne pexe moom de pexe mu baax la.
man de kontaan naa ci trop.
mu ne moom Alaaji Asan de ku ci kontaan la.
ah li ma ci teg mooy ñaan ci yàlla.
mu ne moom de lim ci mën a teg mooy mu ñaan ci yàlla.
mu jëm kaw.
mu ne mu ngi ñaanal xale yi ni lii ngeen di mébét yàlla ko yàlla jëmale kaw.
waaw ngeen góorgóorlu nag.
waaye nag na ngeen góorgóorlu nag.
bañ Panchang lañ doon fexe sottiwut.
mu ne na ngeen di bañ ba lañ daan wax ne Panchang lañ doon fexe sottiwut.
loolu nag góorgóorlu.
mu ne loolu góorgóorlu.
mu xam ci.
moo bu mu am bu mu ci am.
ak Pastef.
ak Pastef.
muñ lante nag.
mu ne nañ leen muñ lante.
ni ngeen falantee.
mu ne ni nga xam ne moom lañ falantee.
xaw ma ko de waaye xam naa am nga fal yu ngeen defante.
mu ne xamut falante yi de waaye gëm na ne gune yi am na nuñ defee seen falante.
waaye lu ci mën a xew.
waaye luñ ci mën a xew na rek.
ngeen di déggante.
waaye nañ di déggante.
bañ di xeebante.
buñ di xeebante.
da déggoo.
nañ di déggoo.
da waxtaan.
day waxtaan.
da diisoo.
di diisoo.
bennoo.
bennoo.
CEO of Janjambure and Kuntaur Area Council, Kuntaur Chairperson and Deputy Chairperson, the Chief of Upper Salum, our host, and all other chiefs, the Panchang Youth Development Association executive and general members, both those at Combo and those at Panchang as well, and those in the diaspora, invited guests, councillors, all other protocols respectfully and duly observed. Today marks our launching ceremony of this small striving under all circumstances of this baby, which is called no other person but Panchang Youth Development Association. I am here to welcome everybody, and then inshallah be rest assured that we'll do our best to make sure that we take the affairs of Panchang Youth Development Association to the highest level possible. So for that being the case, I am asking everybody to feel free, sit, relax, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
The Chairperson of Upper Salem District Youth Committee, distinguished invitees, media fraternity, both print and electronic here in present, and we must single out the presence of GRTS. Two, to bring sustainable community development through self-help development initiative and projects. Three, to initiate income-generating ventures for members and progressively reduce poverty. Four, to promote education, good health, agriculture, and clean environment. Five, to help initiate skill development projects and create youth employment. Six, to foster unity and cooperation among youth and members of the community. The association was, in March 2016, officially registered with the Register of Companies at the Attorney General's Chambers. Thus, it is a legally incorporated organization. The association has 3 chapters. The Panchang chapter, that's where we are now, comprising those youth residing in Panchang. The Komba chapter, referring to members in the greater Banjul area, as well as the diaspora chapter, those residing in abroad. These are members that are outside the country, be it Europe, USA, elsewhere. However, the activities of the association are mainly coordinated by the membership within the greater Banjul area. The association has 2 administrative branches or bodies. One, a council of elders headed by Mr. Captain Maman Bay. He is the chairman of the council of elders. I want you to give him a round of applause. He is a very active chairman, headed by a chairperson. And the executive council, headed by the president, Mr. JB Cisse. Please give him another round of applause. He's a very active president. The Council of Elders provide advice and oversight function over the Executive Committee, which is responsible for the day-to-day administration of the association. The portfolio of the association, of the Executive Committee rather, include and not limited to the President, the Vice President, the Secretary General, the Secretary Designate, Treasurer, Auditor General, Public Relations Officer, Assistant Public Relations Officer, Mobilizer, and the Assistant Secretary. The General Membership is the highest decision-making body, and this body meets regularly on a monthly basis. PYDA, as a non-profit and non-political volunteer group, takes a larger role in contributing to local well-being. The active collaboration between youth and adults is vital to the long-term success of our development efforts. Similarly, as community organizations become a more standardized component of high school programs, we are being given opportunities to become long-term contributors to local development efforts. There are steps as an organization that we would follow to assist us in becoming leaders and active participants within our community. One, to provide opportunities to youth to contribute in community development, consider new ways to involve youth and allow them to offer input during decision-making, problem-solving, and action-taking activities. Active collaboration amongst us will engage us in ways that will open doors for us to contribute. To increase improvement of youth, present opportunities for personal self-growth, skill enhancement, and leadership development. It shall allow us to work with elders in active collaboration toward local community development, integrating youth into communities with adults as mentors and guides will enable us to build the leadership skill and personal characteristics necessary for our future involvement. 3, engage youth actively. Youth provide new ideas and voices that will stimulate passion and investment in community structures. In order to engage youth, communities must understand the invaluable impact of youth involvement. This includes recognizing youth organizations like PYDA, getting youth involved on all levels, and acknowledging our invaluable contribution to society. Instead of youth involvement that is strictly limited to task-oriented volunteerism, youth should be empowered to become more partners in community development process. Doing so allows us to establish a vested interest in long-term participation and contribution to our communities. I will summarize my speech because the massive ceremony is... in conclusion, community development is facilitated by ability of local people to mobilize resources to address local needs, like envisaged by PYDA. Youth are positioned to be among the stable and long-term contributors that will guide this process. Youth represent a vast and often untapped resource for immediate and long-term community development efforts. They also provide an invaluable resource for program planning and effective education. As youth are brought into and connected with organizations and civic roles that they have traditionally been excluded from, they can participate in active and equal decision-making at multiple levels. As youth engage in more sustained positive relations with adults, other youth and community organizations, they will learn that they are valued citizens of their community. Such collaborations will lead to skill enhancement and confidence-building traits, which will help prepare them for negative towards adulthood. Thank you so much.
commencé nañ ko
waaye du dem waaye képp ku ci am loxo jox nañ la sa cër kon yaakaar naa ne ci ndimbali yàlla bëgg a yóbbu mbootaay bi
mu ne bi ngeen bëgg a yóbbu mbootaay bi
yal na yàlla àggale ko
mu ne yal na yàlla àggale foofu
ragal naa ne itam àgg foofu
mu ne ragal na ne moom Tifman yi Mbay yàlla dana yóbbu loolu foofu
ñi ko jiite
mu ne ndax xale yi ko jiite
xam nga balaa ngaa wax ci mbir
mu ne balaa ngay wax dara ci mbir
diw mën naa dawal moto
mu ne diw mën naa dawal moto
musula koo gis muy dawal
musula koo gis muy dawal moto
xamuloo ko
nga
ne sëfoor kaamil la loolu mën naa nekk njuumte
mu ne loolu da day nekk njuumte
waaye ñii ne ci kanam
doomam lañ
te xam naa ne
doomam yooyu
bëgg Panchang
lu ku leen gën a bëgg Panchang
lu ma bëgg Panchang
mu ne moom lu bëgg Panchang
yaakaar naa ne ñoom ñoo ma gën a
mu ne yaakaar na ne xale yooyu tey ñoo ko gën a bëgg Panchang
kon ñooñu
mu ne ñooñu nag kon tey
taxawalee li mel nii
buñ taxawalee lu mel nii tey
ñu ngi si seen boor
mu ne bopp kilifaay ci suñ boor
ministre bi dégg na ko
mu ne loolu ministre bi yow dégg nga ko
député bi mu ngi fi
mu ne député bi yow dégg nga ko commandant bi mu ngi fi
commandant secrétaire yi ñu ngi fi
commandant secrétaire yi ñu ngi fi
koo xam ne mu ngi di liggéey local government itam yaakaar naa council so yëpp a ngi fi
mu ne lépp loo xam ne da ngay liggéeyal local government council yëpp ñëpp ñëw nañ
yeneen dëkk itam neen def Panchang Youth Development Association as royukaay ñu roy si yéen parce que suñu royee si yéen réew mi dina dem ci kanam xam ngeen ne nguur gi président Jammeh mu ne moom muntu yokkal réew mi moom kenn waaye ñun ñëpp dañ si bokka te yéen lu ngeen def nii dëgg jërë ngeen jëf maa ngi doon waxtaan ak Khalifa muy seen secrétaire bi naka leen a mun a def ba yokkute yi gën a yomba am na ay lettres yoo xam ne ni sax démba ñu ngi ko doon binda yoo xam ne man itam damaa ñëw bokk a honorary council of the member of the Youth Development Association parce que man itam ndaw laa te waa Saalum laa te Panchang si biir Saalum la nekk kon foog naa ne am naa right man itam ma bokk si waaye du ma ñëw rek bokk si rek comme ne turu ne bokk naa rek loolu maa ngi koo wax jëmale ko si yéen itam membres am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi nekk Panchang fii am na ñu nekk Kombo am na ñu nekk bitim réew waaye kenn ku nekk si yéen dafa am lu la war si mbootaay bi kon man itam su ma ñëwee war a bokk am na lu ma war si société bi si mbootaay bi loolu maa ngi doon waxtaan ak Khalifa te xañ na balaa yàgga di nga am yoo xam ne ni gis ngeen ko.
Indeed, a great sense of honor and pride for me to stand before you this morning to make few remarks on the formation of this very important youth group here in Panchang this morning. It is indeed a step in the right direction. It is indeed a step in following the policy of the National Youth Council, wherein the youths are being advised to come together and work for the interest of the development of this country. You are the future leaders of tomorrow. You must come together and work as a team to ensure that the country is developed to its fullest. And the only way you can do that is through unity and cooperation. And therefore, I urge all of you, the youth of Panchang Youth Development Association, to come together, cooperate, and be one family. You are the future leaders of tomorrow. You are here to help your elders. The elders have served their time, and you are here to help them. So we all know what President Jammeh has in store for the youth. He has always been saying that the youth, whatever you do, if it is good, the sky is the limit. So I'm also reiterating the President's call for all the youths to come together and try and work as a team and one family to ensure that Panchang is developed and Upper Salum and the entire youth of CRR North. So with those few remarks, I wish to seize the opportunity to once again congratulate you for coming up with this laudable initiative for forming this Panchang Youth Development Association. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
We have already developed a good project proposal for the construction of a big community youth center that shall be equipped with a solar panel, canteen, offices here, projector, and the modern PA system. This document has already been drafted, reviewed, and under finalization. We intend to engage a development partners for collaboration for the safe realization of this important project. On this note, distinguished guests, elders, youth, and people of Panchang, we urge all of you to kindly help and collaborate with us in both words and deeds to achieve our aims and objectives. I thank you all for your kind attention.
dëkk bi daal naka la mel ñaaw na trop alaaj dëkk bi moom xool ko sax dafa ñaaw ko ma la nga fee war a tertu gan gis naa ne tilim bi daal feebar yu bëri léegi bëri na fi te léegi daa ma bëggoon laa yónnee nga demal ma si alkaali sañi taba bi bu màkk guy bi ak bu madi faana bi ngeen leen tey si ngoon soxla naa leen fii waa baax na kon maa ngay dem konko assalamu alaikum jamare kay himdillah barakallah jamare kay himdillah mone man ci mo yone won fini mune lan mo ne won sa tank mune suba ci nexe yalla la soxla won ci naro
taw parce que oote chief moom du caaxaan moo tax bu ko sofee buñ ko fekkee suba jàmm daal.
barikalla jaamare kay naka njaboot gi jaamare kay alhamdulillah barikalla jaamu rek man ci moo yónni woon waaw mu ne suba si 9 o'clock daf leen soxla woon ngeen ubbi ko incha allah waaw 9 o'clock moom moo nekk ñaata moo nekk juróom-ñeenti waxtu su suba waaw incha allah kon maa ngay dem incha allah waaw baax na ne ma ji waaw baax na dara ko dégg jaamare kay alhamdulillah barakallah naka njaboot gi ñëpp a ngi jàmm jaamare kay barakallah waaw ma ne man ci moo yónni woon fii nii kan ci waaw ba jaamare kay jàmm rek waaw ok baax na lu mu la wax mu ne suba si 9 o'clock daf leen soxla woon suba si 9 o'clock waaw baax na amul problème incha allah pour moom su wootee lu ma mënta téye da nga ko war a bàyyi dem dëgg la kon maa ngay dem baax na jaamare kay alhamdulillah ma ne loolu waxoo yóbbu ko naxal gars yi de ñu ne suba si neexee yàlla dinañ ñëw waaw kon maa ngay dem baax na
lan la woon
wallaay ndigam di ngeen toog si kër gi dinañ leen woote foog ñu woo leen wala ci mu yónnee woon ndaw bii di dem di wax affaire yi liggéey mu ne dem war a dem ay jugo xam meeting léegi dem balaa ngaa dem kay foog biir bi dara nekk fa foog naa ne te yow soo xëyee nekkuloo si kër gi waaw man tam du ma mën a aar ndiwo daal parce que naaj na ba pare dama bëgg a ñëw def ay liggéey ana gune yi ñoom Amadou yi
salaamaaleykum
aleykum salaam Amadou ak Idrissa man de ci moom ma woote woon mu ne ñu dem ay jugo te xam naa ne jant mu ngi dem daal naaj waa ngi tàng dama bëgg a daw rek dem seeti ci bu ñëwee ba xam waa jàmm la am waaw waa ngi dem
léegi nga bàyyil ma xel xale yi ak kër gi su nga ma yéex a gis nag añ leen
waa baax na
amee gisuloo kër goo xamante bu ko soxlaa doo ko gis benn góor nga am benn jabar heure boo ko soxlaa doo ko gis léegi bu ñëwoon defal ma si cere ji ma gàcc si ba dem bu ma ci waaye lu mu def rek ma man koy li waaye doo boo ootee doo gis kenn nga ne loolu jaadu alors bu ko defee ma uyu
bitim tey boobu laa jëm ci kon nga jëm boobu laa jëm yëpp benn la kon yëpp benn la kon bu ko defee rek jaxaare naka njaboot bi waa kenn tawatut alhamdulilah
waaw jotaay bi lu ko waraloon daal maa toog xalaat ma ne dëkk bi de moom dafa tilim dafa ñaaw sax
dëgg la
waaw naqaree xool waxuma laa nga war fee tertu gan ñaano trop da ko ëpp léegi daal moom lu oto bi daal ma ne leen si ngeen demee seen dëkk kër gu nekk ngeen dugg fa nga ne leen jiif mi ne ñu dem seetal dëkk bi waaw te seetal dëkk boobu xam nga ne wér-gu-yaram la si dëkk waaw sax ak yokkute so léegi nag loolu laa doon ooyee bis bi nag alxames ci suba la mooy ni ki suba juróomi waxtu ci suba 9 waaw moom laa bëgg ngeen ñëw fii 9 ñu gën koo xamee si juróom-ñeenti waxtu ci suba waaw
ci dooguma la nag waaye loolu dëgg la parce que man léegi soo demee sama dëkk
waaw
feebar bu ñuy wax feebar yoo
waaw
bëri na fa
bëri na fa de aka ñaaw aka bon si nit la
yow
ciif kon ma yokk si lu Touré wax rek xam naa ne kay moom soo waxee seetal dëkk dina si sawar parce que dëkk moom lu ko jëmal kanam rek leen bëgg te dëkk su setee wér gu yaram am foog naa ne liggéey dina mën a yomb ba mën a jëm kanam léegi daal ci gàttal daal nga bàyyi ñi rek ñu jéem a dawali kër waaw seede lu fa xew
kon baax na ci ñi nga àgg kër illallah bu ko nagu du ko nagu man ñi la nga may gaañ ay ma ne la waaye la sekk defal li yow sogal waa sekk yow defal yow waaye ma ne la ñi la nga may rey waaye li xewal la de yow sama lekk ñaang ma do dama nit gis nga fan yëpp
bi moom tey ma àggee bu soobee yàlla maa la dama wax
yow nag yow moom bette
ma ne sekk ñu la xaar waaye yow
bette nga ma trop te kere ba nga ñëwee sama kër ba mu la ooyee yaa ma wax ne ma lépp loo lekk si yàpp da ko liggéey de te gisuma la
tawar rek
waay kanaa yow kay soo tawee kana sa kër yëpp kenn tawatu ñëpp tawatu wala kër yëpp a feebar yëpp a feebar déedéet yàlla dafa am yërmande yàlla du def loolu kër yëpp tawat soxna si rek a tawatu te moom mu ne xaritam ba daal damay am ngénte te moom du mun a tardé te man maa ko wax sax demal ndax man dama tawat waaye mën naa laa jégal pour nga dem parce que soo amee xarit boo xamante ni daf daan ñëw sa xew su amee xew da nga war a teew loolu la waaye ñu dañ ñëpp a tawat léegi kon yow daal moom bëggulee boole si bopp daal li war a dëkk
For the sustainable development of Panchang residents, citizens and non-citizens alike, is highly commendable and worthy of emulation. Key among the merits of DH and association are, it enhances interaction and social cohesion amongst its members who are in diverse places both in the Gambia and abroad. It fosters understanding among its members and residents of Panchang. It creates a platform where issues affecting the development of Panchang are discussed, planned and implemented. It promotes a participatory approach to development. It enhances networking and resource mobilization within and outside the country. It reminds members that Panchang is their origin and have a responsibility for its sustainable and holistic development. Last but not by no means the least, it enhances mutual understanding and peaceful coexistence among youths, elders and the government. Madam Chairperson, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, having heard from the previous speakers, there is ample evidence and window of hope and opportunity that is convergence will culminate into a viable, reputable and sustainable association which will serve as a catalyst for the sustainable socio-economic development of Panchang. However, this can only be realized through mutual understanding, respect for peers and elders, and commitment and sacrifice to achieve set targets. Coming to the theme of this launching, which is social and community development, people's responsibility. I wish to at this juncture express my sincere thanks to the executive members of the association who selected this multifaceted and multidimensional team. It is important to note that the word development is a key in this context. According to the World Bank and United Nations development experts, development has both social and durable conditions. The improvement of the living standard of people or communities in a sustainable way is one of the key indicators of development. The purpose of this event is not to go into the theories of development, but to discuss the concept of development in relation to needs and aspirations of the association, which we are launching today. Madam Chairperson, distinguished guests, youth and elders, in response to the theme, it is important to note that social development and community development are all about putting people at the center of development. It is the responsibility of the citizen and the non-citizen in a community to play active roles in all development activities. We are optimistic that this association will put people at the center of development. Community development, on the other hand, is a process where community members like you in this association come together to take collective action and generate solutions to common problems. Community well-being at the social, economic and environmental and cultural levels usually evolves from collective action taken at the grassroots level. This association, I am reliably informed, will leave no stone unturned to identify the development needs of Panchang and strategize ways of solving them in a participatory and sustainable manner. In situations where community needs or problems are beyond the association capacity to address, we can always explore other levels of engagement involving the district chief, governor and national assembly member. There is no doubt these authorities will be willing to mobilize resources or influence policy decisions to address these community needs. At this juncture, it is crucial to note that effective community development should be 1. Well-planned, 2. Inclusive and equitable, 3. Initiated and supported by community members, 4. Of benefit to community, 5. Premise on experience that culminates into best practices, and last, 6. A sustainable and long-term endeavor. Community development, which is everyone's responsibility, seeks to improve the quality of life, which also results in a mutual benefit and shared responsibility among community members. If we aim for a very high success rate in our development agenda, it is critical that we recognize the linkage. It is critical that we recognize the linkage and relationship between social, cultural, environmental and economic matters, and most importantly, the diversity of interests within our community. Madam MC, distinguished guests, youths and elders. The main precondition for the advancement of a society or association, particularly this one, we are launching today are but not limited to the following. Thank you so much, and we are first of all most grateful for traveling all the way from Combo just to grace this occasion, also cover the event, all in the name of national development. So, having heard from all the speakers at the launching ceremony, it is also important to take you around to our proposed project within the community, and this is one of them. And this used to be a community market built by a partner, SDF, but it has never been functional. So the community thought it right as a VDC to partner with this new formed association, Panchang Youth Development Association. How could we transform this land to make it useful into a community youth center, which we built with my president, and adopted this land to develop a very good project proposal and engage our partners who could help and for counterfund this project. And the association also will counterfund the project through other means. Then after all, because as you could see, this village is a commercial center and it's the only village with a weekly luma in the entire district. And it's just few meters bordered with Senegal. And every people, all diverse people of this country, both Senegal and the Gambia, do come here weekly to sell their products. So as a village, and you could see the village is well structured. It's just on the highway. It's a thriving settlement. Yeah, exactly, on the highway. So it's a commercial center. So we thought it was, and many times we have traders or even non-citizens like want to spend the night here, but they will find difficult of accommodation. So we thought it wise to adopt this land and by extent to extend even the land, if it is small, to develop in a very big community center where we will have a very big hall that could accommodate our regular meetings and even at times official meetings, which we could not at the time host, but it will normally be transferred to Janjambure or nearby Kaur. So, and that will not be helpful. So we thought it wise that we could develop a community youth center like this one and have a very big hall that would be used to accommodate such a gatherings, important gatherings, and also we will use it to have a canteen. According to the plan, it will have canteen and it will have solar, equipped with solar panels and projectors and even some offices for the association and also for if the partner so wish to establish their office here also.
And how far have you gone in raising funds for that?
Yeah.
You are just at the inception of
everything. Yeah, we are at the inception per se, but we are very hopeful that the project will be successful because as we told you, the association has 3 branches. One in the local level here and the one at the Combo branch and the other one in the diaspora. So luckily, and the association is how to call it, is lucky to have some of its members are intellectual or experts in their various areas. And one of them is this, one of our members, which I must mention here, that is Fafa Cham. He's an expert in project proposal. So right now he's doing his master's in Togo. So we did communicate to him about what we intend to do about the project. Quickly he went and developed the project proposal together, and he has already sent us the draft, and we have reviewed it as an executive, and we have sent him our feedback, and he is finalizing the document, which is in the next week we will receive our final copy. Then we will go to target
our partners.
Okay.
Apart from this proposed project site, what other sites do you have? Yeah, it is part of our plan. As my Vice President has said in the launching ceremony, that we have a plan to establish what we call Operation Health Center for Panchang, which is very vital. Because if you could see, this is a very big community and it's the biggest village in the entire district of Upper Salem without a health center. And I can say Upper Salem is the only district, if you go to the statistics of government, it's the only district without a health center. So it is, and Panchang happens to be the biggest village here in Upper Salem. So we thought it wise, as citizens of Panchang and non-citizens for that matter, to launch an operation and engage government as our first priority or our first partner to see how best they could help us to establish a health center here that would benefit not only Panchang but the entire district. So
that's also in the pipeline.
In the pipeline. Okay. So it's part of our pipeline also to establish. You know, we are naturally endowed with land here. So we plan to have it because we were talking to one agricultural expert. He do tell us that there's a one cashew breed that if you plant it within 1 year, it will be able to breed fruits. So we have secured the land already, but we are working to normalize the papers with the VDC and the village heads to get the land in our name, so that before the next rainy season, we'll be able to purchase those breeds of cashews and plant it in a garden and fence. That would also generate income for the association, because as you know, cashew now is a marketable product. So if you are able to realize that project, it will be a source of income for the association and also as an agricultural venture for the community. So that's also part of it. How are women participating in this, in everything that that PYDA is doing?
Yeah, the women are trying very well, especially the ones at the